Alright, guys, we are on chapter 25. Excuse me for living. Speaking of girls, I met one too. Well, kind of. I went to the movies by myself. I'd saved up the money for a while, ever since I knew this film was coming out. Michael usually goes with me, but this was during his gum describing days with Emma, so I was flying solo. And since it was a Saturday afternoon, Anna was busy studying at the public library. Nobody made fun of her there. Anyway, I was sitting in the darkened theater, all alone, snug in my seat, waiting for stuff to start blowing up on the screen. I crinkled open the bag of microwave popcorn I'd snuck into the theater because, come on, who can afford to buy the stuff they sell at the concession stand? At a movie theater, you can buy food court quality nachos for the price of a whole meal at a real Mexican restaurant. In Mexico! I was munching away, enjoying the trailer for a new animated film about flying pigs made by the gang knuckleheads at the Cartoon Factory. This super popular cable channel all the kids at school love. The stuff they put out is laugh your butt off funny. Anyway, I was just about settled in when somebody scooted up my row and accidentally stomped my foot. Oops, excuse me, she said. I looked up. It was an extremely cute girl. Plus, she had to be rich. She had half the concession stand cradled in her arms. After she said, "Excuse me," she added, "My bad." Then she sort of squinted at me. My heart kind of leapt in my chest. I started wondering, is this the girl that's going to become my gum girl? Would I start hanging out with Miss Toe Stomper? Could I describe different flavors of microwave popcorn to her? Would she go with me to the Cartoon Factory's Flying Pig movie when it came out? But then the mystery foot stomper's eyes adjusted to the darkness. She saw who the foot she'd nearly crushed belonged to. "Oh, it's you, Stoopid. Why did you try to trip me with your stupid foot? I can't believe you tried something so dumb. Is this your stupid idea of a joke?" What? It was like we were suddenly in a movie scene, one she was making up, and I didn't have the script. "Usher!" she cried to the guy working his way up the aisles with the swinging flashlight. "This immature boy tried to trip me with his big, stupid feet." My imaginary romance was even shorter than Michael's. The usher shone his flashlight in my face. "How stupid can you be, kid?" the usher asked. "You have no idea," said the girl as the usher hauled me out of my seat. He didn't even want to hear my side of the story, aka the truth. 2 minutes later, the guy in the red blazer tossed me out a side exit, yelling about no refunds. I ended up in an alleyway. It was raining. And then a passing garbage truck splashed wet gutter slush up on my sidewalk. Yeah, those rain clouds were finding all sorts of new ways to dump on me. Donatella, David's mom. It's a profile. I just want to say something about David and Michael. Albert Einstein was one of the smartest men who ever lived, but he nearly flunked out of school, probably because none of his teachers knew what to do with him. The same way they don't know what to do with David and Michael. Anyway, Einstein apparently once said, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. My son David, he's that fish." Chapter 26, The History of Failure. You might think that after our experience with the school science fair, we'd stay away from any and all activity with the word fair in the name. You'd be wrong. Michael, Anna, and I had this awesome idea for the school's history fair, so we went ahead and did it. Actually, it's called History Fair, Parade of Time. And all the students are supposed to dress up as their favorite historical characters, march into the auditorium, and take turns making speeches about what made them famous. Anna came up with the idea for our historical figures, two guys that Michael and I had never heard of. Exactly, she said. Our project will focus on history's underdogs, the ones that time has forgotten, the quiet people who actually made history while other, louder people made all the headlines and grabbed all the glory. Let's hold the people who did brilliant things but ended up shoved off to the side because the spotlight was hogged by somebody else with much bigger mouth. I think she was sort of talking about us. How we might be smart or talented, but nobody would notice because they were too busy making fun of us. Anyway, we all worked together on our scripts and costumes. For the history fair, we were going to go as Henry Woodward and Matthew Evans, two inventors from Canada who nobody, including us, had ever heard of. Michael and I found some fake fur coats, floppy red eared hats at the thrift store, and watched a lot of hockey games to work on our Canadian accents. Part of the costume was also this huge light bulb we'd found in a dumpster behind the novelty shop at the mall. Hey, we're from Canada, eh? I have a bright idea about electricity, for sure. So who were Woodward and Evans? In 1874, these two Canadians filed a patent for an electric light bulb made out of a glass tube with a chunk of carbon inside that was connected to two tiny wires. That's right, they were the guys who actually invented the light bulb, not Thomas Alva Edison. There was only one slight problem. Woodward and Evans were totally broke, so they sold their light bulb patent to Thomas Edison. The rest, as they say, is history. Edison put their pieces together, built the first electric light bulb, and hogged all the credit. So you hosers, I said to the auditorium in my best Canadian accent. I had no idea what a hoser was, but Google said it was a Canadian thing. The next time you flip on a light switch, be sure to say thank you to Woodward and Evans, eh? And forget that fluffer-knuckle Edison, eh? Added Michael. A couple of kids in the auditorium coughed. One guy shouted, "Stoopid!" The panel of judges barely paid attention to our presentation. One even went out to use the bathroom while we were on stage. He must have figured anything created by Pottymouth, Stoopid, and Anna Britannica would be a waste of his time. And guess who came on stage right after us? A kid dressed up like Thomas Alva Edison. He wore a bow tie and tweed vest. He'd also put white shoe polish in his hair. "Hello, everybody," he said, waving his flashlight around. "I'm Thomas Alva Edison. Ignore those losers who are just here. Let there be light, because I just invented the light bulb." The applause was deafening. Michael and I and my floppy-eared hat shoved off. "Hickles, snickles, pox, eh?" muttered Michael, which made me crack up. Because he said it was in an awesome Canadian accent. Who were they supposed to be? Pottymouth and Stoopid, the Great White North? Chapter 27 is What